I'll always believe in love. I'll always believe in romance. I'll always have that. And some people could say like, "Oh, your head is in the clouds," or this, and I don't think so. I think I've had an incredibly loved life, and I've loved hard and big, and I encourage my kids to do that. Music was really my first love, and it went along with all of the performance, musical theater and everything. But writing music was always kind of my happy place, or really the place when I wasn't happy, where I unloaded. Because I do love writing depressing music. But I remember when I picked up the guitar, I was 19, and I was like, I want to learn how to play the guitar. And I was like, oh my God. I just remember it like opened up a completely different thing for me at that age for writing, was the guitar. Even just learning the basic chords. And then I just would write and then I became really, sort of successful young. And so that concept of going and making a record or pursuing music sort of took a very far backseat to what was happening in my career at the time. But I never lost sight of what I love. And then it just became like, then I met Chris, and he's my big rock star husband. I was like, well, I'll do my thing, he'll do his thing. And then I met another music guy, and it was, so it never really was like, felt like my opportunity to really delve into it. And also having two touring like musicians in a family is just probably, it feels impossible. But so it's sort of, life just put it aside, and then COVID happened, and then I was like, I if I don't do this, it will make me so sad. It'll be a great regret. So I was like, I gotta do it. And so here we are. Oh, I was just a little girl, dove deep into the world, thought I could take it on. Honestly, I didn't even have any expectations of what I wanted it to be. I just wanted to make an album. It's sort of like the other day, I was performing on a show, and I kind of had this like moment of like, what is happening? This was not where it started. The impetus of making the album was really for me, and having to just do it, because if I didn't, I would be, it would be like a hole in my creative experience in this lifetime. And so then I was like, but I'm gonna take it day by day, and I'm not gonna have any expectations, and I just want to make music, and I don't want to switch careers. I really just want to add to the things that I've been doing in my life and career. And I also have a lot of people in my life, like my family, who would be like, you're out of your mind. And they'd be like, absolutely not. What are you thinking? And I've had like so much amazing support and like encouragement from my family, my partner, my fiancé, and my brothers, and they're so excited, and they know that this is what I love to do. And so I'm just happy singing, even if it's to like a room of like 20 people. I'm very happy there. Danny is an amazing producer, and he's an amazing songwriter, but he hadn't been in music for like 10 years. He's been editing, but he's so talented, and I knew he knew what I needed, and he could execute it. And the writing process, and then really the producing, he took all the album and really like honed in on the sound of the album. I'm an Aries, like, oh my God, I have like butterfly feet. Like I'm just like, okay, I have to go somewhere. I have to like be somewhere else other than this room, And Danny can sit in a room for 24 hours and not even know it's been 24 hours, and just and that there's just very specific types of people in engineering, mixing, producing that can do that, and he's just that guy. So I felt very lucky to be able to like go make the kids dinner and then like pop my head in and be like, is there anything I need to listen to yet? And by the way, it's not for everybody, but for me, when I'm with someone, and connect through music, I find it to be incredibly, like, just a really beautiful part of the relationship. Rani's on there. I was gonna get Bing on the drums, but he's just too punk rock for my album. He's like, yeah, maybe for the Deftones, Mom, you know. But no, Bing would have done it. But I didn't. I'm gonna wait for my Ryder and Bing. What I really want them to do is do a remix to one of my songs, which I would think would be really cool. Like, have both my boys do a remix. The music family. We could have a crazy band. Our whole family could be like a crazy band. My kids are just awesome. I don't know. I feel so lucky. My Rani's amazing, and she's such an artist. Very, very beautiful, like, fine artist already. Like, she's just like, her drawings are insane. Bing is just the coolest kid and super, super musician. I mean, really like his dad, like very, picks up a guitar and you're like, what am I can't believe I just saw him do that. And like, he's, I say this a lot, but he really is into the stock market and has been for years. And so he trades his own stocks. He's like he reads at 12. He like reads the news about like where things are, He'll tell me like he knows the class of each stock and each bond and all this stuff. It's crazy. So he'll be very interesting to watch grow up. And Ryder's just like living his life in New York, like a cool college, student, and he's into acting and wants to be an actor and starting the process, which is also just this family. Because I guess I was young when I had him, it's a different relationship than with my other kids. So, he's seen me through all of my good times, my bad times, this boyfriend, not that boyfriend. He's seen me through all of it, and that's very different because I never had an adult life really without him. So it's a little, I think, more protective, meaning like I think he's very protective of me. And then I think my other kids will be, because we've been through so much together. I mean, he really was my partner in crime. I think a lot of young moms will relate to that, especially if you have a really good relationship with your child. They become protective, and you have to be like, I got it. I love you. I got it. I love when my kids are independent and doing their thing, and I get a kick out of watching them, and being able to be an observer is so much fun with your kids as they get older, especially if they're in a good place, if they're happy and they're feeling good in themselves. It's really hard when they're struggling, but we've been through that too, where you wish you could take certain things from them, but like when they're thriving, and it's just the most beautiful thing to watch. So I love it. And then you realize once they go, you kind of have that moment, and then like within 6 months, you're like, oh, I mean, they're basically home. And then you're like, how many days off do they have off of college? What is going on? Are they even in class? But it's great. It's great. Ryder's such a great person. And that's another thing, when you see certain things that happen in their life and the way they handle something with someone else observing it, and you're like, oh, you know what? He's going to be all right. And that's how I feel about Ryder. He's got a good head on his shoulders, and he's gonna do just fine. And I'm excited for them. Parenting's tough work. It's a hard thing to do, and it's hard to be good at. It's hard to have a very prolific working life and also be a present parent. It's hard to just be a parent and a stay-at-home mom or dad. Like, it's the hardest job ever. And it's the thing that like breaks your heart if it's not going well, right? So it's the thing you care about the most. And so like if it's going in a good direction, it's like quite the, joy and relief. I think the thing that's so unique about my life is that in this very patchwork family, we all have figured it out. And we are very connected and we are very close. And the kids feel like they have this huge family. I mean, from Cheyenne, Ryder's sister with Chris, another marriage, to Lavella, Matt's daughter. Lavella's, Matt's daughter and Rani are like sisters. There's something that has been able to be nurtured in our family that is personally what I think is like it's very rare, but it also is like, it's so awesome because love can change form and it can move, and it's a very interesting thing when you have that modern family. And there's so much love for my kids, for all the kids. It's wild, and I was thinking about the other day when Matt's daughter and Elle's daughter was with me, and they were doing something. They're like, "Can Lavella come over and play with Rani because we have to go?" So I'm like, "Yeah, come bring her over." And I'm sitting with all the kids, and I'm like, I am so happy right now that we have this like a real like family unit that's big. It's just awesome. So that is beautiful, and that everybody's open to it and understands it is like the most mature thing for children, for kids, and you can see it in them. They feel loved, they feel protected, they feel safe, it's just awesome.